Alright, what's up? Welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be going over the patch 3 patch notes, and I'm going to be showing you guys everything that changed. So there'll be a comparison. So let's get right into it. The first thing we do know about this patch, 100%, and the biggest thing is the crossplay. So to enable crossplay, all you have to do is update the game, and once you open the menu, once you go to friends list, you should be able to see this entire thing. So platform friends online, you can close this, crossplay friends, and you can be able to see it. Your player code that you can share with people who are off Steam, so people on Xbox or, Steam. It's similar to Epic Games, I'm pretty sure. You just do this, and that's your player code, right? Now, the other things that got added alongside crossplay that are not gameplay changes or directly gameplay changes are keyboard controls. So the controls they've added are aiming modes for basically passing on keyboard. So joystick emulation is your old aiming, directional aiming, which is this one. Sorry, give me a sec. Directional aiming, which is, as you can see, it's called directional aiming. If you read it, it says aim with crosshair if there are no movement inputs pressed or if forward input is pressed. Otherwise, aim with movement input. And then there's crosshair only, which is like similar to shooting. It makes you, pass with your crosshair only. So I would personally, I couldn't give you a suggestion because I don't play keyboard, but just mess around and find out what suits you. The next thing I added is smooth correction speed, which is, again, all of these are for keyboard, so I couldn't tell you much about them. So I know a lot of you, when you boot up the game, you might be having an issue with resolution and it might seem really, really low quality. So just to fix all of that, all you have to do is go to video and it should say screen percentage. Just put that to 100. So it goes back to normal, and you can make it go further down to improve your frames. So I'm on 134 frames right now. If I go to, let's say, 25, I end up going to about 240 frames or 230 frames, but it looks like it's on. I'm playing on Nintendo Switch, so it's really, really weird, but it's all up to your preference and all up to what you want. That's all they added for settings as far as I know. So let's get into some gameplay changes. So what did they change about the game? There's been a lot of changes and the meta has completely shifted. So as you can see, the number one thing is the crosshair, unusually big, and there's a bug right now because the patch only came out a few hours ago. And whenever you change your crosshair size, so you can go here, you can go to, I think it's, gameplay, and you go to your crosshair size. You can change the color, and that's the only good thing they added, but you can see how it looks. So if you go to 1, this is the default value that the game is set to right now. But I think you spawn in with 0.1 or 0.2 or something, I don't know. But every single time you take a shot or like the scene changes, in an actual game, it resets to the normal size. It's very weird. But I'm sure they'll be fixed by the time, like maybe less than a day or so. So that's the only crosshair difference, as you can see. But let's get into gameplay changes. So what did they change? They changed a lot of stuff. The meta's completely shifted. So the meta used to be long balls and, the missile meta. So now the meta is, I don't know yet because, well, I haven't played enough to know. But I do know that long balls are dead because your lob priority, by lob I mean your header. So this has a higher priority than just shooting the ball like this, like a volley. So let me see if I can set myself up for a volley. So it has higher priority than that. So when you just lob in box and you're in a good position, you will get the ball like 9 out of 10 times as long as you're in a good position. Again, I haven't been able to test much, so yeah, that's the one major change that they've added. But there's also a lot of changing for dribbling and just general fundamental gameplay. So now you can no longer do the rainbow blade shots. So this one, you can no longer do this because the lock-on takes, it's way too far for extra effort to even catch onto it. So I'll show you again. You can see how I just can't catch onto it. I'm holding my right trigger, as you can see on the bottom left, to shoot. It just does not lock onto it. So I'll show it again. Rainbow, short lob, and then you can still do it, but it's very, very slow, and there's no real point to doing it because, like I said, lob will probably just out receive it or out prioritize it anyways. So that's the one change that you can't do much anymore. I mean, you could, but I don't recommend it because it's a very iffy thing. So anyways, moving on from that, the Ippy slide. That was one of the main issues of the entire game alongside the missile meta, where this was too broken. So it's not like it got removed from the game. You can still do it, but it just has lesser iframes. So when you push the ball, the second you push the ball, there's no iframes at all like there used to be. So it's way easier to tackle. So you can get interrupted throughout this entire animation without having to, without the defender having to worry about getting like bugged or something, right? Now, as you can see, I don't know if you've noticed, but I am push balling and it's going way closer to me than it used to. So as you can see, it's basically magneting to my feet. So when I'm not sprinting like this, sprint is still goes pretty far. But if you're just running and you tap, the ball goes way closer to you. This enables you to do ippy slides like this. So you know how I'm back heel touching, I can ippy slide with that. Before, you couldn't do that because the back heel touch would go too far. But now you can do this, you can do the... I'm pretty sure you can do a Ronaldo top ippy as well. Nah, you can't, okay. Yeah, so you can't do a Ronaldo chop ippy slide, but you can do a back heel touch ippy, which is useful in some situations, but again, ippy slide has been nerfed overall, so I wouldn't really recommend it. Now, another thing that they added or changed was the blade shot. So it wasn't a direct nerf to the blade shot, but rather nerf to an extra effort, like the extra effort mechanic. They removed two of the most used mechanics in the game by like competitive players. One being golden boost, and like most of the boosts, so like rainbow boost or whatever it used to be called, like when you could do that. They removed most of it. You can do it sometimes, but it's very inconsistent. So you see, I used to be able to do it very consistently. I mean, you can still probably pull it off, but it always does that. So I wouldn't recommend it. And the other thing with extra effort is you cannot instantly change directions anymore. It just makes you, it doesn't repel the ball anymore. It makes you magnet onto the ball. Unless you press the tap button like this. So you can see, oh, what the hell? So you can see how I just cannot do it anymore. And the timing's way more different. I mean, maybe you get, again, like I said, you might be able to do it every now and then, but as you can see, even if you time it right, it usually just fucks up. So I'm repelling the ball, but I'm pretty sure that's a bug because they said they completely removed that. And the other thing is I can't really tap it anymore. So the window is really, really small still. I used to be able to do it frame perfect, but now I just cannot. Maybe that's a skill issue, but golden boost is but golden boost has been removed. Silver boost or like drag shot or whatever you want to call it is still there, but I'm not the best at doing it, so maybe I'm not the best example here. But as far as I know, it is still in the game, and you can still change directions and shoot. So it's again, it's a bit harder to do. The timing's different from what it used to be, but I think once you develop muscle memory, it should be fine. Wait, I just did a golden boost. What the hell? I just did a golden boost. So golden boost still exists? What? Oh my god, golden boost still exists. What the hell? Okay, I guess golden boost still exists. So disregard everything I just said. So while I was recording or while I was editing that video, or that section of the video, turns out there has been already some findings that you can actually do every single boost in the game still. So the timing's just changed, and well, I don't know how to do it, but I will show up a clip on how everyone's done it, and I'll also give the credits to someone from Morph's Discord. I'll just send them, I'll just like put a screenshot up here. But I will make a tutorial on how to do it, I guess, once I do actually learn myself. So disregard everything I said about golden boost and like other boosts not working, because they actually do work. It's just that the timing is way more different. So anyways, moving on. Alright, another thing they did add that is very major for controller players. So they did add tap passing for keyboard, but the one thing they did add for controller is a cam lock. So usually, as you can see, when you aim with controller, what it does is it moves your crosshair. So if I were to take a shot here, you see how it moves along with my character, right? So let's say I aim in the middle there. Fuck, wait. Let's say I'm moving and I'm running and I'm aiming top left here. You see how it goes in the middle. But there's a setting now that you can enable. So you go to gameplay, you go down, and it's to say lock shoot on controller. Enable this, and now the difference is if I'm moving around and I'm aiming in one spot, it stays in that spot. So it is still a bit buggy, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it might just be my client, but it is way better for shooting, but it can hinder your passing a little bit based on how you play. So the crosshair won't move at all, and you don't have to overcompensate at all anymore. Just that if you already have muscle memory for the no cam lock, then I suggest just keeping it off, because personally I like to keep it off because my blade shots and stuff are aimed by looking above the goal like this. So rather than having to aim directly at the top bin or at like the top right corner, I don't actually do that. So it's weird, but it's all up to preference, like I said. So you can see I aim a little over the goal and it just drops. The same would apply to like passes and stuff. If I do this, it goes top left. But with cam lock, it would like, you don't have to even compensate at all. You just aim and go for the shot. It just feels more natural like this on controller for me. So again, it's all up to preference. But if you're starting out the game right now, then I definitely do suggest turning it on and getting used to it as you learn the game. Because in the long run, it will definitely help you aim way better than if you have it off. I was talking about blade shots. So when you use extra effort, usually what would happen is your shot would be way stronger. So what they've done is they made it 10% more weaker. So what happens is like it affects blade shot directly. So blade shot is way slower now. And you know, it's way easier to save, so it's not as broken anymore. You can still do the blade shot, it's just that it's not as overpowered anymore, or as no skill as some people would call it.
We're making this mistakes and that we are still equalizing, bro. Bad team, man. Yeah, your team's not that good, bro. Care about what you feel about fights and all other people say, bro.
Give it a Fortnite kick.
Another change to the blade shot, like I mentioned, is you don't or I didn't mention, but you don't have to tap anymore. You don't have to do this motion anymore to do a blade shot. So you can just keep running light lob, extra effort, and then the blade shot just happens because the push ball, what's it called? You don't need the push ball anymore. I don't know why. I don't know the mechanics behind it, but you can just do this. The light lob doesn't go as far anymore. Maybe that's it. And your extra effort just automatically gets it. So you can just go like this and you can blade shot. So sometimes if you time it too late, it does the half volley or like the scissor kick. So similar to this, you see that? So the scissor kick, you want to try to go for the full, the full blade shot like this. But that's, that's just timing. You got to get used to it because if you're not used to it, it's kind of cooked. So like that. You just got to keep playing, keep practicing. But those are the changes. The other movement changes are to dribbling. Like I said, the dribble stance. So whenever you dribble, it makes you slower. So whenever you do this and you push the ball forward, after dribbling stance, it makes you slower from my experience. I haven't seen any, I haven't read any official patch notes about it as far as I can see, but they have nerfed the movement a lot as far as I can see. I do have clips on the screen and I'll pull them up right now as I'm talking, but it makes you really slow, and it just feels very awkward to dribble like I used to, and that's just personal experience. So if you guys have a different experience, if you guys have different experiences with like dribbling, make sure you comment down below. And that's all the changes that I know. There's a lot of other changes, like minor changes that I won't be going through today. I will leave the patch notes down in the description below so you can go read it for yourself. The patch is out now. There's gonna be a lot of bug fixes and stuff. As you can see, this still says beta for some reason, and hopefully there's also gonna be a rank reset soon. So, but I think the biggest thing we got out of this was that missile meta is dead, which I'm very happy about, and also the fact that we have crossplay. So the game's gonna be way more alive, and I hope to God that it becomes more competitive. But anyways, that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.